Chance, the leader, set sail for home nicely clear. Solvent is second there, followed by Golden Sword, Kiwi Golfer. But it's the Phantom Chance for the WS Cox Plate. He's racing clear. The Phantom Chance wins it over a length to Solvent. Golden Sword, I think.
Moonee Valley 1993. And the celebrations are for the Cox Plate win by the Phantom Chance. It's a proud moment for Colin Jillings, one of many in a racing career that started as an apprentice during the Second World War. This win was special because it had been planned many months earlier, a trait that Jillings was renowned for during 54 years as a trainer. Growing up in Ellerslie in the 1930s, it was inevitable that Jillings would be drawn to horses. As a 9-year-old, it took persistence to convince a trainer he had the strength and the skill to handle big horses. Once given the chance, Jillings proved he had a special affinity with horses and was able to get the best out of them where others couldn't. But soon after getting his license in 1943, Jillings fractured his skull in a fall during track work, sidelining him for 12 months. Fortunately, he recovered, and he went on to ride 42 winners over the next 5 years. The highlight was his victory in the Railway Handicap on Royal Scot in 1946. The teenage years became growing years for Jillings, and he struggled with weight. There were no sweat boxes, so the Jillings solution was to seek help from a Chinese market gardener. Jillings would dig a hole in a manure pit and then have it filled up to his neck. It was hot, not very pleasant, and it didn't take any weight off. Horses were Jillings' life, so the obvious transition was to become the country's youngest private trainer at 19. The first trip across the Tasman in 1950 as the Empire Games kicked off was a great success. Lady Finnis was one of several winners to show Australians and New Zealanders that this young trainer would be one to watch. Later, a dispute with an owner in the early 1950s almost ended that budding career. Jillings went from training to being trained as a cable joiner for the Auckland Power Board. Luckily, he kept his interest in horses with some part-time training. When the chance came to take over the Tucker stables at Ellerslie, he jumped at it, and his career never looked back. The first significant win came with Yeeman in the Auckland Cup in 1956. Jillings was just 25, and the whiz-kid apprentice was now a whiz-kid trainer. Yeeman was to collect the Wellington Cup in 1958, the same year that another horse started an unprecedented run of success for Jillings. Derbies are the most coveted 3-year-old prize, and they're races won by very special horses and trainers. Lawful's win in the 1958 Great Northern Derby was the start of a brilliant record that will be hard to beat. Jillings was to train a Derby winner in every remaining decade of the 20th century. Lawful was followed by Stipulate in 1960, Uncle Remus 1973, I'm Henry 1983, and the Phantom Chance in 1992.
The Phantom Chance, the Inside Cup, the Edition might have got his nose in front, he has, and coming back at him, the Phantom Chance, there's nothing, its nose is almost dead heat, I don't care. The Phantom Chance thinks he's got it on the inside Vance.
Each derby displayed Jillings' ability to target a race from a long way out, and to have the horse in peak condition on the big day. With so many champions through the stables, Jillings has always been reluctant to name a favourite. Stipulate followed his Derby success with an Auckland Cup win in 1963. Jillings regards him as one of the toughest and most marvellous horses he ever trained, but they all rate a special place in his heart and memories. Uncle Remus was so popular that Jillings would often be sent pocket money by young fans and pensioners to buy carrots for their personal favourite. Brockton was probably the greatest jumper in the Jillings stable, because of his Great Northern Hurdles and Steeplechase double in 1971. Few people know that Jillings had to go beyond the call of duty to ensure success. The night before the steeplechase, Jillings was warned a serious threat had been made to get Brockton before the race. So with a thermos to keep out the night chill, Jillings stood guard over his champion. That win was extra special, just like the second Great Northern Steeplechase the following year. Perhaps win in the 1976 Auckland Cup stretched Jillings' winning cup sequence to 3 decades, along with the derbies.
And it's perhaps some Timesmate as they're coming down the straight. Perhaps ahead there at Timon and Timesmate fighting grimly through on the inside. Upik is battling on, so is 747. And perhaps is still the leader in the Auckland Cup. Upik finishing brilliantly on the inside. And is perhaps down towards the post. Perhaps has won it. Upik is second. Timesmate.
The Cup's run didn't make it through the 1980s, although the decade did introduce a new era of success. Richard Ewell formed a training partnership with Jillings in the 1986-87 season, and together they would train more than 700 winners. The partnership was to share the thrill of an Auckland Cup win when the Sir Tristram-sired Irish Chance raced to glory in 1999.
Queen's got the lead now, Chase a leader, and on the inside Shansbow, his Irish Chance is out after them as well. Irish Chance dashed to the lead in the closing stages. Shansbow fighting back on the inside. Irish Chance and Noel Harris win the Cup.
Jillings was the 10th New Zealander to train 1,000 winners. By the time he handed in his licence after 54 years, the records show he had 1,327 winners, 703 in partnership with Ewell. Many accolades have come Jillings' way over the years, one of the proudest being the 1999 award for outstanding contribution to racing. It was recognition from his peers, the people who affectionately know him as Jillo. And now future generations will also know about this gentleman of the turf as he joins the other greats and the New Zealand Bloodstock Racing Hall of Fame.